More about living in the time of the coronavirus epidemic. Samuel Pepys here, reporting in the year 0 CE. Here's a fact of life. In this strange time, you don't have to go out looking for crazy. Crazy will find you. There are all kinds of crazy. For example, we have census crazy. Yes, we're in the middle, or somewhere, of an epidemic, and they are trying to count noses. I heard a lady speaking for the Census Bureau the other day, and she said, "Nations all over the world come to us and to see how it's done because we are the best." What a crock. I wonder what the statistical range of error in their count must be. In Chicago, they were having trouble getting people to cooperate, and their solution was to send in the census cowboy, a guy on a horse, thinking that if people saw him, they would immediately count themselves in. The census cowboy. You can see why they're the best. This census deal goes way back. I think in the Jesus story, they were traveling before he was born to get to a town, maybe it was Nazareth, where they could be counted. So they were cooperating. They did not need the census cowboy. Census crazy. And now we've got UFO crazy, too. Sure, the aliens are here. There are videos of lights in the sky from all over the world, big cities, undeveloped areas, everywhere. So if you get tired of the prevailing crazies, the virus, racism, unemployment, the economy, the trumpet, you can check out the nighttime sky for dancing lights. UFO crazy. Maybe we could send up a space cowboy as a sort of welcome wagon. What is crazy anymore? Crazy is the norm. Crazy is what we expect. It isn't the news anymore. It's the craziness. The protest movement is spreading. Austin, St. Louis, and several others. I noticed that in Atlanta the protesters are calling themselves the Freedom Fighters. Has a nice ring to it. Something else we can toss into the mix. Hurricanes. A big wet one hit Texas, and now one is threatening to land in Florida and go up the East Coast. Given all the virus restrictions, many people are choosing to stay in their homes, avoiding travel and any plan to evacuate. The field mouse is putting another restriction on bars. No liquor sales after 10 o'clock at night. Bar owners say it will kill their business if it goes on. And I keep hearing that more people are dying of drug overdoses and suicides than of the coronavirus. One of our sons called to say that he and his wife will attend our Monday dinner. That's great. We love to have them. But last weekend, he took a trip to Fort Myers, Florida. When you return from there, you're supposed to self-quarantine. The fastest spread of the virus is supposed to occur at family gatherings, where one has just returned from a place like Fort Myers, Florida. We are apprehensive. We're going to try to keep distance and not make a big deal of it. Baseball keeps canceling games and forging ahead. I watched part of a game on TV last night. It was played in Minneapolis. There was a huge George Floyd sign painted on the outfield fence, and there were Black Lives Matter signs in the stands instead of fans. The pitcher for the Indians, their uniform read Cleveland, not Indians. He was fantastic, something to see. Oh, and football players are beginning to opt out of playing this season. Besides crazy, there is stress. I heard someone say we are on an adventure every day, and really, it's an adventure I would prefer not to be on. The numbers of the sick and dying are higher than ever. ever, day after day. Unemployment remains around 40 million, and the unemployment insurance money is tied up by congressional arguments. Landlords can insist on payment of rent, banks on mortgages, and eviction is an option once again. Parents are trying to get ready for schools and daycare, and that is a shifting, amorphous mess. The racial protests continue to proliferate. More hurricanes are coming. This is an incredibly stressful time, and it's unrelenting, increasing for many. For others, they think it's a great big imaginary puffball, and if everybody would just stop and pull the sword out of their ass, then maybe things would start to settle down. Everything seems to work out badly, no matter what we do. The bars close, putting more people out of work, and the customers party at home with their neighbors with no restraint, and the virus spreads that way. So the field mouse will come up with another way to plug the leak in the dike. We refuse to accept that this natural phenomenon, might be something we can't beat. My hope, and it's a faint, distant one, is that a vaccine will come riding over the hill, the bugler blowing the cavalry charge.